The room went silent, so silent that even the hum of the flickering lights above seemed deafening. 20 teenagers froze in shock as a tall, angry student lunged forward and grabbed his teacher by the throat. His fingers dug into her skin, eyes burning with the kind of rage that usually came from years of pain and disappointment. But the woman he grabbed, Ms. Laura Kane, was no ordinary teacher. With one smooth, practiced movement, she shifted her weight, twisted his wrist, and before anyone could blink, the boy was on the ground, gasping for air, his arm pinned painfully behind his back. Her voice was calm, cold, controlled. "Breathe," she said quietly, loosening her grip just enough to let him exhale. "You're not my enemy, Jason. But this," she looked him straight in the eye, "this ends now." The class sat stunned. No one knew that the quiet, soft-spoken history teacher who drove an old Jeep and smiled through every insult had once been a Navy SEAL, the first woman to serve in an elite reconnaissance unit before retiring after a classified mission went terribly wrong. And the boy who had just attacked her, Jason Miller, a senior whose life had fallen apart faster than he could rebuild it. His father was in prison. His mother was gone. He had been living on the edge, fighting everyone, including himself. That morning, it had only taken one small spark. He'd thrown a chair. She didn't flinch. He cursed at her. She stayed calm. But when she mentioned his mother, the one topic that ripped open every wound he'd buried, he lost control. Now he lay there, trembling on the floor, more from confusion than pain. Laura stood, her voice steady. "Everyone out, now." The students rushed out the door, whispering, shaking, some too scared to even look back. When the last one left, Laura locked eyes with Jason, who sat on the floor, still holding his arm. "You could have broken my arm," he muttered. She nodded. "And you could have crushed my windpipe. But neither of us did." He looked up, angry tears welling in his eyes. "Why didn't you fight back harder? Everyone else would have hit me." Laura sat down across from him. "Because I wasn't fighting you. I was fighting for you." He frowned, confused. "What does that even mean?" "It means I've seen this before," she said softly. "Men who hurt because they were never taught another way. People who think pain is the only language that makes sense." Jason stared at the floor. "You don't know anything about me." "I know enough," she said. "Because I used to be you." His head shot up. For the first time, he saw the faint scars across her knuckles, the way her shoulders were always squared, her eyes always scanning the room. "You were military," he whispered. "SEAL," she corrected quietly. "Before I was a teacher, I was trained to fight wars. But nothing I saw out there compared to the battles I see in here." She tapped her chest. "The ones inside us." He swallowed hard. In that moment, something broke, not in anger, but in realization. For the next hour, the two of them sat in that empty classroom. Jason told her about his father's drinking, about the nights he'd hidden from the shouting, about the helplessness that turned to fury. She listened, really listened. And for the first time, someone didn't see him as a monster. That day became a turning point. Over the next few months, Laura made a deal with him, 1 week of discipline for every week of trust. He joined her morning workouts, running before dawn, learning to channel his anger into control. She taught him how to fight, but more importantly, how not to. "Strength isn't how hard you hit," she told him one morning as they trained on the football field. "It's how hard you can get hit and still choose peace." Jason didn't believe her, at first, but one day, when a group of boys mocked him for training with the teacher, he didn't fight back. He just smiled, walked away, and heard her words echo in his mind. "You're not weak when you walk away. You're wise." By graduation, Jason had changed. The angry fire in his eyes had turned into focus. He joined the Navy, following the same path she once took, but for a different reason. Not to fight, but to serve. Years later, he returned to that same high school. Laura was still teaching, her hair streaked with silver now, her classroom walls filled with maps and pictures of former students. When she saw him standing there in uniform, medals shining on his chest, she smiled. "Jason," she said softly. "You made it." He shook his head. "No, ma'am, we made it." He handed her a small pin, a Navy SEAL trident. "I earned this," he said, "because you showed me what strength really means." Her eyes filled with tears as she took the pin, holding it gently in her palm. "You taught me something too," she whispered. "What's that?" "That no battle is ever truly lost," she said, smiling. "Not as long as someone still believes there's a way to fight it differently." Jason nodded. Guess you never stopped being a SEAL, huh? She chuckled. No, I just changed my battlefield. The two stood there in quiet respect, the teacher and the student, both survivors of their own wars. And as Jason walked away, she pinned the trident to her desk, right next to a quote that had guided her through every storm.